Thank you, Yunmu. Our next speaker was a picky eater as a child, picky eating children, is now determined to identify the underlying determinants of picky eating. This will benefit both parents and health practitioners to support children in developing healthy eating habits. She envisages is to guide children to learn to like eating healthy foods. Talking about why does my child hate eating veggies, a lecturer in nutrition and dietetics in the Faculty of Health. Please welcome Dr. Rati Yani.
Do you bribe your child with ice cream for them to finish their broccoli? Well, you're not alone. Nearly 60% of parents perceive their children as picky eaters. In Australia, only 1 in 17 children meet their recommended serves of fruit and veg, and this is associated with twice the risk of death due to chronic health disorder and cost our community nearly $1.4 billion. Now, what has been well investigated is the environmental causes of picky eating. For instance, parents not eating enough fruit and veg and therefore children not learning. However, recent research has indicated that children may have genetically higher sensitivity to super taste, called super tasters. But are super tasters also picky eaters? We don't know. Funding of $5,000 will help me secure the phenotype testing kit to investigate the first of a kind nexus between nature and nurture. Is it the genetics or is it the environment which is causing our children to have a nutritionally imbalanced diet? My research will challenge dietitians and food scientists to develop tailorized interventions for super tasters, support them to learn to like eating healthy foods rather than simply stigmatize them as picky eaters. In conclusion, my research will stop the ice cream bribery and investigate potential solutions for our children to have a nutritionally balanced diet. Thank you.
Okay, so a question from our judges. So Rati, my son, I have to bribe him to eat meat using broccoli, which really does suggest that oddness is genetic.
And that is why he should be in my study, so I can taste him as a super taster.
Look, I've been looking for ways to earn funding from him, so if we can use him as a study animal, I'm totally fine
great.
with that.
I would welcome him.
He hasn't been pulling his own weight around the house. He almost never brings any income in.
Right?
Crazy
Yes.
level, yeah.
But yes, I'll talk to you after the...
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's the sort of transaction that's deeply unethical.
Thanks for the presentation. I think the Stop the Ice Cream bribery certainly was a crowd pleaser as a finishing line. And we're actually really curious about this. So we know a little bit about super tasters, and I'm very interested in how you're actually going to get into the science behind this testing. So you're purchasing a testing kit.
Yes.
And what are you actually looking for with the testing kit? What's the science that you're hoping to prove so that you can take this research further?
Yes. So in very simple terms, if I have to explain, the cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and citrus fruits like grapefruit, they have certain bitter compounds which are called as thiol compounds. So what I'm looking at is to see that whether super tasters from a physiological point of view have shown to have a lot of, say, palpulae, the carpet looking feeling which you have on your tongue. So the theory is that super tasters have a lot of these carpet looking things on their tongue, and that's why when they eat broccoli versus, say, someone like me, a normal taster eating broccoli, they will find the broccoli much more bitter. So the way in which we can investigate this is using a prop solution. Now, if I have to explain what prop is, you guys will get scared because it's a very big term. But basically, prop is like the bitter compounds in the broccoli. So when I give this bitter compounds to the child in varying concentrations, then I can identify whether the child is a normal taster, a medium taster, or a super taster. So meaning less amount of bitter taste when the child can feel it to a very exaggerated condition, meaning he's a super taster. Whereas for a normal taster, he may need a lot of these compounds to feel the bitterness. So that is the science behind which I'm trying to take the phenotype testing kit and investigate it with children. But this is mostly done with adults, and this is the novelty, that this is not done with children, and we blame children as picky eaters, but hang on, there may be some genetics.
Thank you.
Thank you.